Hi, I'm Misty Nick. I want to share some insights from a session that I had with a client today. So she come to me for a body and soul session. So that's a massage session. But as we were chatting in the initial consultation, she said a few things. And so I asked her some questions, which then opened up a whole story. And it was really interesting. Can't go into details, obviously, because that's personal. But it really hit the spot on what was going on for her. So we did the session, and I also was able to connect into some of her loved ones in spirit. So for me, I know one of the ladies. So when she come to me in spirit, and I get visions of people, I actually said to her in spirit, because I knew her, I said, give me something I don't know. And later on, she come back around, and I saw her with another lady, I'm assuming her mum, and they told me something about flowers or roses. And I happened to say to my client, like, what do the flowers mean? What are the roses I'm seeing? And so she told me this whole story about someone in her past that had done a really nice thing around flowers. So that was one thing that Spirit gave me, which she could connect to. The second was I saw a pearl necklace, and I said, what's the pearl necklace? Who's got the pearl necklace? And she said, oh, my son. My son brought me a pearl necklace when he went away. So that for me was the key to the information that I wouldn't know. So her mum was giving me, and her dad were giving me some validation that they were around in spirit. And then the other part of this, which was really important to remember, and a reminder that even though our loved ones have passed and they're not here in the physical world, they're still very much in the spirit world, and they still want to make their presence known. They still want to help us and guide us, because sometimes we feel very alone, particularly when we've lost people, and we feel like, there's no support, and it can get very tough. But one thing I've learned is that, and I always say for me, my parents are actually better in spirit than they are in life. And I'm often asking for guidance. I'm often asking my spirit team to help me and support me. And look, sometimes I don't know how that's going to show up, and I'm not supposed to know how that's going to show up. The big part of it is about us acknowledging that there is more, that we can ask for help and support from those in the physical world, but also those in the spiritual world. And then they can give us signs and validations, connections, put things on our path. It's amazing. I think the spirit are very, very clever in the way that they can help and support or give information, like she did today with the necklace and the flowers. So I think that was a beautiful, beautiful connection that I was able to give my client. And then at the end of the session, I asked her to choose a card, which was really, really interesting, because there was a theme to our session today. And at the end of it, the card validated a lot of what we talked about. And it gave us some helpful pointers, some things to take away, some things to look at, maybe think about, maybe make some changes. And and I love the fact that the cards really just confirm and validate the things that I intuitively know and see and guide people with, because that's just that little bit of I guess validation again for me and for the client. I don't really need the validation, but for when it shows up, in like that. And that's also why I started using cards, because I found that particularly, well, tarot's great, but particularly oracle cards as well, they just have a way. I say the cards don't lie, and they don't. They're always very accurate, spot on, very specific to what's going on for someone. So that's what makes my sessions unique. They're more than just a massage session. They're a body and soul session. We're dealing with all aspects of the self, and we're bringing in intuitive psychic guidance, mediumship, and connections to spirit, which I think is a beautiful and wonderful thing. Thanks for listening.